First Contact and Discovery. Dr. Nora Wells peered through her microscope at the iridescent liquid sample, her brow furrowed in concentration. After 3 years studying alien biochemistry at the Interstellar Research Institute, she had never seen anything quite like this. The substance seemed to dance under the lens, shimmering with an almost supernatural vitality. The sample had come from a raid on an illegal extraction facility in New Singapore. Local authorities had discovered dozens of humans hooked up to bizarre machines that harvested their endorphins, the natural chemicals produced during moments of intense emotion or physical exertion. The facility's alien operators had fled, but they left behind equipment and samples that now sat in Dr. Wells' lab. "You need to see this," she called to her research partner, Dr. Jin Park. He rolled his chair over, adjusting his glasses as she stepped aside. "The molecular structure is unlike anything in our database. These aren't just raw endorphins. They've been modified somehow." Jin whistled softly as he studied the readout. "The aliens are using some kind of quantum stabilization process. But why go to all this trouble? What makes human endorphins so special?" Before Nora could respond, her holoscreen lit up with an incoming call from Director Hammond. The older woman's stern face filled the display. "Dr. Wells, we've got another situation. A Centaurian diplomatic vessel just docked at the orbital station. They're requesting a meeting with our xenobiology team immediately." Within an hour, Nora found herself face to face with Ambassador Rax, a tall, ethereal being with silvery skin and elaborate ceremonial markings. The ambassador's translator hummed softly as they spoke. "Dr. Wells, we understand you've been studying certain biological compounds of interest to my people." Rax began carefully. "We wish to establish a formal research partnership." "You mean human endorphins?" Nora replied bluntly. "Why are your people so interested in them? And why resort to illegal harvesting?" The ambassador's skin rippled, a sign of discomfort. "The situation is complex. My species has been monitoring humanity since before first contact. We discovered that human endorphins have unique properties. They can enhance our natural telepathic abilities in ways we never thought possible. A single drop of processed human endorphins allows us to communicate across vast distances, share memories and emotions with perfect clarity." Nora leaned forward. "But surely your scientists could synthesize these compounds. Why harvest them from unwilling humans?" "We've tried, but artificial versions lack the quantum resonance patterns found in naturally produced endorphins. Something about human consciousness itself seems to imbue these molecules with their special properties. The black market arose from desperate demand among my people." Rax's silver eyes fixed on Nora. "Help us understand this phenomenon, Dr. Wells. Together we could develop ethical solutions that benefit both our species." As Nora considered the ambassador's words, her scientific mind raced with possibilities. If human endorphins really could enhance alien telepathy to such degree. The underground market. Agent Marcus Reed crouched in the shadows of the abandoned subway tunnel, his pulse steady as he watched another shipment being loaded. The containers glowed with an eerie blue light. Human endorphins, processed and ready for distribution. The alien traffickers moved with practiced efficiency, their crystalline environment suits reflecting the dim emergency lighting. Intelligence suggested this was one of the largest endorphin processing facilities in North America. Marcus had spent months infiltrating the operation, posing as a corrupt security officer willing to look the other way. What he'd discovered horrified him. Hundreds of humans kept in induced euphoric states, their natural hormones constantly harvested and refined. His comlink vibrated silently, the signal from his backup team. They were in position. Marcus checked his neural disruptor one last time. The weapon was specifically calibrated to incapacitate proximal nervous systems without causing permanent damage. "Shipments ready for transport," growled Keth, the facility's overseer. The massive alien's crystalline form pulsed with deep red patterns, a sign of agitation. The buyers are getting impatient. Demands higher than ever since the diplomatic crackdown. Marcus commented carefully, maintaining his cover. These new extraction methods are more efficient at least. Keth made a sound like grinding glass, their species' version of a laugh. The humans don't even feel pain anymore. Just endless pleasure while we drain them. Almost merciful, really. Marcus felt his jaw tighten, but kept his expression neutral. The raid couldn't come soon enough. As if reading his thoughts, the tunnel erupted into chaos. Stun grenades detonated in carefully coordinated sequence as interstellar security forces stormed in from multiple entry points. ISF, everyone down. Marcus drew his disruptor and fired in one smooth motion, dropping Keth before the alien could reach for their weapon. The other traffickers scattered, but the tunnel's limited exits had been sealed off. In the ensuing firefight, Marcus fought his way to the processing center. The scene inside made his blood boil, rows of humans suspended in glowing tanks, expressions frozen in artificial bliss as machines extracted their precious endorphins. As his team secured the facility and began evacuating the victims, Marcus received an urgent message from command. Dr. Nora Wells from the Xenobiology Institute needed to examine the site before it was shut down. She believed the traffickers' equipment could help unravel the deeper mystery of why human endorphins held such power over alien minds. Marcus looked at the tanks, now being carefully drained by medical teams. He'd seen enough of humanity's exploitation. Whatever secrets these machines held, he hoped they would help prevent this from happening again. The truth emerges. Dr. Nora Wells arrived at the raided facility with her research team close behind. Agent Reed met them at the entrance, his face grim as he detailed what they'd found. The processing equipment was unlike anything they'd seen before. A hybrid of alien and human technology designed to harvest endorphins with terrifying efficiency. The quantum resonance patterns are even stronger here, Nora muttered, studying her scanner readings. These machines aren't just extracting endorphins, they're somehow amplifying their natural properties. As they examined the facility's data cores, a pattern began to emerge. The traffickers had been selectively breeding humans for generations, identifying bloodlines that produced particularly potent endorphins. But it went deeper than that. "Look at this genetic analysis," Jin said, pointing to his holoscreen. "These subjects all show signs of ancient genetic engineering. Modifications made thousands of years ago, so subtle we've never noticed them before." Nora felt a chill run down her spine. "Are you saying someone engineered humanity to produce these compounds?" "More than that," Jin replied. "The modifications are specifically designed to generate endorphins that enhance telepathic abilities. Someone wanted humans to be living factories for these chemicals." Agent Reed frowned. "But who? And why?" The answer came from an unexpected source. Ambassador Rax arrived at the facility unannounced, their silver skin now marked with symbols of mourning. "I believe I can explain," they said softly. "My people have been keeping this secret for millennia." The truth was staggering. An ancient race of telepathic beings had seeded Earth with genetically engineered humans, designing them to produce the vital compounds needed for long-range telepathic communication. But the engineers had vanished, leaving humanity to develop independently while various alien species discovered and exploited their unique biological properties. The secret was supposed to die with them, Rax explained, but the temptation proved too great. "My people became addicted to human endorphins, as did many others. We told ourselves we were merely reclaiming what had been designed for us." Nora's mind raced with implications. Humanity's entire existence was the product of ancient genetic engineering. Their emotions, their very consciousness, had been carefully crafted to produce these powerful compounds. But there was something else, something in the genetic code that even the ancient engineers hadn't anticipated. Humanity had evolved beyond their original design, developing abilities that were only beginning to emerge. Breaking the cycle. The revelations about humanity's engineered origins sent shockwaves through both human and alien societies. Dr. Wells and Agent Reed found themselves at the center of a growing storm as they worked to shut down the endorphin trafficking networks while exploring humanity's true potential. Research showed that the ancient genetic modifications were becoming more active, responding to increased contact with alien species. Humans were developing latent telepathic abilities of their own, triggered by the very compounds aliens had been harvesting. It's like a feedback loop, Nora explained to a packed auditorium at the Institute. The more our endorphins are used to enhance alien telepathy, the more our own telepathic potential awakens. We're not just producing these compounds, we're evolving to use them ourselves. The implications were staggering. Humanity wasn't just engineered to be a source of telepathic enhancers. They were designed to eventually join the galactic telepathic community. But the process had been interrupted, corrupted by exploitation and addiction. Marcus led increasingly complex operations against the trafficking networks, now aided by humans developing telepathic abilities. These awakened individuals could sense the presence of illegal harvesting facilities and communicate with their captive brethren. We're not just shutting them down anymore, Marcus told Nora after another successful raid. We're offering alternatives. Voluntary research programs, therapeutic applications, controlled production of synthetic substitutes. But resistance was fierce. Some alien factions refused to accept change, launching increasingly desperate attacks on human colonies. Others tried to accelerate human telepathic development through forced evolution programs, creating new ethical dilemmas. Through it all, Nora and Marcus worked to find balance. They established sanctuaries where humans could safely explore their emerging abilities while contributing to legitimate research. Ambassador Rax and other alien allies helped develop protocols for ethical endorphin donation and synthetic production. The old system of exploitation was crumbling, but the transition was far from smooth. As human telepathic abilities grew stronger, new questions arose about their place in the galactic community. Were they ready for such power? Could they avoid the mistakes of those who had engineered them? A new understanding. 5 years after the truth about human origins emerged, Earth had transformed. Telepathic education centers dotted the globe, helping humans understand and control their awakening abilities. The illegal endorphin trade had largely collapsed, replaced by regulated research partnerships and voluntary donation programs. Dr. Nora Wells stood in her expanded laboratory, now part of the new Interspecies Telepathic Research Institute. The facility buzzed with activity as human and alien scientists worked side by side, studying the remarkable properties of human consciousness. "We've barely scratched the surface," she told Agent Reed, now Director Reed of Sinological Security. "Each breakthrough reveals new mysteries about our potential." The latest research suggested that human endorphins weren't just enhancing existing telepathic abilities. They were enabling entirely new forms of consciousness. Controlled studies showed humans and aliens achieving states of shared awareness that transcended traditional telepathy. The ancient engineers didn't just create biological factories, Jin explained, reviewing the latest data. They were trying to create bridges between different forms of consciousness. Humanity was meant to be a catalyst for galactic unity. The revelation had profound implications. Other species began examining their own genetic histories, discovering subtle modifications that complemented human abilities. A grand design was emerging, one that suggested the galaxy's diverse species were meant to achieve something greater together. Ambassador Rax, now leading the Coalition for Ethical Evolution, helped establish new protocols for interspecies consciousness sharing. "We were wrong to exploit humanity's gift," they admitted. "Only through mutual respect and cooperation can we achieve what the Ancient Ones intended." Humanity's journey had come full circle. What began as exploitation had led to understanding, growth, and the promise of something greater. The true purpose of human nectar wasn't to serve alien addictions, but to help all species transcend their limitations. As Nora watched a group of human and alien children practicing basic telepathic exercises in the Institute's garden, she felt a sense of hope. The shock of discovering their engineered origins had given way to appreciation for the potential it represented. "We're not just producing nectar anymore," she told Marcus as they observed the children. "We're helping create the future those ancient engineers dreamed of, one consciousness at a time. The mystery of why aliens craved human nectar had revealed a deeper truth about humanity's role in the cosmos. They weren't victims or resources to be exploited, but essential partners in the galaxy's evolution. The next chapter of their story was just beginning.